All right, it's January 28th, 2022, and we're in Bethania, North Carolina. Founded in 1759, it was the first planned Moravian village in North Carolina. And they got a lot of the old homes and stuff still here. It's the only remaining continuous independent Wachovia settlement. It's left here in North Carolina, this Wachovia area. Got remnants of original medieval style plan where families lived in the central village, and the Moravian church assigned each family roughly equal strips of fields in the bottomlands along Muddy Creek and orchard lots on higher ground. And they all worked together to be a self-sufficient community back in the day. Here's one of their houses, the Wolf Moser House, 1799. Now this house was moved here, and it's the town center and visitor center now. And this is one of their churches, Alpha Chapel, and I think it's about 2 miles down up the road somewhere, and they moved it here so it could be part of the visitor center. So let's go check it out real quick, and then we'll walk on through the town center and see what a lot of those places were. They have a town map, a walking tours you can get here at this visitor center, but they were all gone. The box was empty when I got here. Nobody's inside, so I downloaded it, and I may have to look back and forth, stop the camera and look back and forth as we go along to see what's what. We'll work it out. Still got a little ice down here on the sidewalk from previous little snow we had. It's going to snow tonight too, I think. Yeah, Alpha Chapel, 1895. Beautiful chapel here. I like the way they did that stone wall there. Yeah, you can kind of see inside. I'm not going to go any further though. Yeah, let's see what's on this. Well, they got this little place here with a little roof on it. Let's see what that is. What is this? A bell in memory of the Flint Senior family, memory of Charlie Wolf. Alright, that's cool. Got a little bell. I guess you can ring it if you want to. I'm not going to do it. Check out this old barn of some sort here. Probably store stuff in. That's cool. I like that. See how they filled in between the wood. I don't know what that is they're using today. I'm sure that's not the original filling. Some old buildings out there too. Here's the back side of that church. Yeah, they got a trail here too. I got several different trails that go along to where their farms and stuff were, and I'm going to do some separate videos on those. Right now we're going to head on in town, which is right up through there, and see what they got to offer. Just like I'm going to walk through here just like you would if you came here to visit. I'm learning as I go. I just started looking at their history last night, and then when I got here today, they have a board up on the outside of the visitor center that goes through every year when they first formed Wachovia Tract up through the Revolutionary War, Civil War, and on up to modern times. If you ever get here and want to really delve into the history, you can look at that board. All right, let's go around the corner here and see what they I think they've built a old general store and coffee shop in this old mill, and we'll start down there. I have this old sign here. It says Enchantment North NC DOT. Got some flowers and some orchid shoes and things. Been here so long, moss is growing on it. Kind of like it though. Got an old creek here. I like the way they built that fence around it, the wood. Yeah, that's the backside. Looks a little cleaner looking. Look at the old stones they use for steps and stuff. That's interesting. Yeah, here's this old roller mill called the Millstone now. I'm here kind of early, so I think it'll open up later on. But that's a general store in there and a coffee house, I think. There's a few cars up in there. But I bet that's an interesting place to go in when you're in town. And you got this other building here, is this auto repair shop. All right, let's walk up here to the stop sign and take a right. So I'll cross back over. There's a look back into the town center. We're going to walk in just a minute. But I saw these historical marker signs. I want to come back over here because there's so much history in this town. And Lord Cornwallis came through here during the American Revolutionary War, crossed shallow ford and over on the Yadkin River, and came on down in this area. Yeah, that shallow ford, I've been up there. That's a good ways from here. It's amazing me how they marched all over this land, back and forth, chasing each other around, and that's great distances too. Now we just ride them so easy in our cars. It's Stoneman's raid. He came through here and stole a lot of stuff and took a lot of their things, and he was going to burn the town down, but it was raining so hard they didn't do it, and that's how this little town, all these old houses got saved. I was watching a video on it. It seemed like one of the men was telling the story about they took a woman's pot that she was cooking her food in, took the pot and the food, and they left and went on into another town. I can't remember which one it was. And the next day she marched her butt down through there and went up to the Stoneman, said she didn't mind him taking her food, but she wanted her pot back. They gave it to her. Don't mess with that woman and her pot, that's for sure. Hey, and they got this plank road right here. This was the western terminus of the Fayetteville and Western Plank Road. It was 129 miles in length, the longest in North Carolina. And those plank roads were a big deal in the day because you can see the ice and snow today. Well, you can imagine this old road would just been dirty and ruddy and all that, and made travel hard. If you had a big wagon full of supplies you wanted to sell, it could be even worse. I think there's about 35 plank roads all over North Carolina. I go to these towns and I'll see plank road signs. I know High Point had plank road come through there as well. All right, let's get on up through there. You can see how they laid this town out straight through the middle here and gave people lots on each side. So let's get started on up through here and look at these beautiful old houses. So we're looking back at the old sign down there, the Stoneman Raid sign, where we were talking about Stoneman's Raid, and we're coming up. And like I said, they have a walking tour of these houses, and I'm having to do this by memory as I look online to see what they are. So we'll shoot through them each one, and I'll do the best I can since I don't have the paper in my hand. But this first house you're looking at here used to be a blacksmith shop right there, and that's where you'd have got stuff done like that. This next house was a Queen Anne and the funeral home director. He lived there. And then that brick house up there, well, they did, I believe, wagons, put on wagons and things like that. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I go on up through here, I'm just trying to figure it out. I like the way they got these old stones down through here. Might have been how it was back in the day. 5505 or something. I might have to look it up here in a minute and tell you what that is. So I looked online. This house here was moved here, but there used to be like a general store right here on this corner. I think I'm going to cross on over and kind of just do one side and down the other instead of trying to flip back, because the map kind of does them in order, the one I'm looking at online. Got a little bit of a walkway here I can walk on. Yeah, there's that shop. That was a wagon shop I told you earlier. It's beautiful walking up through here. Now we can crawl up on this. Okay, they got a sidewalk up here. I almost wonder if these sidewalks were original. It's kind of cool. This beautiful blue house was a gunsmith shop. So as you can see, this whole town was self-sufficient. They each had their own orchard, their own plot of land for farms, and then they had their own businesses in here in town. Just saw that skeleton up there looking down on me. Must have been here from the beginning. Yeah, this next house, beautiful house, was a shoemaker's house here at 5524. Shoemaker was doing good. You see, Shore Lehman House, 1805. I'm going by memory on this, so if I get some of these wrong and y'all know, comment below, let us all know. I got it right, shoemaker shop. So it looks like he lived in that house and I go shop there maybe. I'm not sure how that would work, but man, well, he had a nice little plot of land back there. behind it as well. This was a grocer, I believe, and there was apartments on top that you could rent. Looks to be a little newer than the other ones. No barn back there. Old trees. I bet this is pretty down here when they're bloomed out. 53, 55, 36. I don't see nothing on that, but I have a feeling I need to stop right here. I want to say the church was right here. Yeah, I believe that's what it was, and then the house was put there. Notice Bethania Historical Association down there. Look at that. That's cool. I don't know what all this is. Got a sign right here. This was the town square back in the days, what it says. I guess you tied your horse here, maybe drink water out of there. I'm not sure. Looks like almost like a millstone to me. So I don't know if this is a house somebody lives in or not. Man, I think it's beautiful. Look at that fireplace. Let's walk down through here. Here's another look of the log house, built in the 1700s, and it looks like it was remodeled in the 1800s. You can see got all these buildings here with it. I don't know what they all did. I'm not gonna walk down in there because I think somebody still lives there. Got a lot of parking here, a lot of cars. I'm not sure what that's all about. Hasn't been kept up too good. I love it. Just love old buildings like it. You can see a church there on the other side. Just a beautiful shop. Somebody's dog's in there barking. See, I think it's private. Oh, barn back in the day. I think you'd lift that hay up with some kind of pulleys and put it up in the top. This building right here was the schoolhouse. Bethania Historical Association there now. That would have been the old schoolhouse. Old back road here. Old houses down through there. Yeah, I'm on the back street here. Let's walk on back up and continue on down. Look at the rest of this beautiful town. So we're looking back from the direction we just came. We came back up that road from the schoolhouse and turned left, and that's that log house. Coming on up, got a little white cottage here. 1880s, I think, was that cottage. Another beautiful house on the right there. As we go up through here, this yellow house was a site of a county clerk and a parsonage, I believe. You'll also notice how these houses are built close to the street. That's the way they did them early on. They had the house would have been right up to the street, so they'd have more room in the back. We've done that one, and then later on, the houses were pushed further back off the road to a style you see more today. This beautiful old house here. This next house, if I'm getting them right, is a doctor's office right here. Be careful walking on these sidewalks. For sure. Yeah, I believe that was a doctor's office. It's beautiful back there, everybody. You know, people still live in these houses. I'm not sure what this one was. There's a look down the other side. Back toward the church. John Henry House, 1808. a red house here. It's interesting. And that white one over there too. Let me stop here and see if I can figure out what they were. So this red house was another residence, John Christian, I can't say his name, is Loesch house, 1775. And that yellow house was a residential house as well, where someone lived. If you go up through here, the person that lived in this red hair, I used to have red hairs, white and gone now, but he owned a store here, I believe. That's what it said, beside it. And then on this other corner there was a tavern. It's gone now, of course. That's kind of where the walking tour ends. It goes on out of town right there, so we'll turn and go back down the other side. We'll see what this White House was. So I've crossed over now. We're looking back at the red house, and then that's where that tavern would have been. You keep on going out a couple houses up, that would have been the northernmost point for the town and back in the day. But now if you're going out further, I think there's a mill out there. If you take a right down here, they got a church and an old graveyard down there you can see. And this White House right here is where Cornwallis stayed for the night when he run through here. So a lot of history there, can you imagine? Revolutionary War. There's Cornwallis sitting right here. This is where it was. This is where it happened, right here in Bethania. They got a plaque up there on the wall, but I think it's a personal house now, so I'm not going up there. Yeah, so much history right here in this area. Not to be outdone, Stoneman come through. I said he stayed at this little house, if I'm getting it right. And it doesn't seem to match the others, but it's either this one or the next one. Let me look online one more time just to be sure. I feel like it might have been that one down there. We'll see. Let me look. So it wasn't this house. Stoneman just quartered here, so I'm assuming it was just an open lot. All his men would have been all up in here. Town would have been crowded, I imagine. Old Stoneman and them creating havoc, stealing horses, threatening to burn down the town, stealing the woman's food and her pot. You find out you don't mess with mama's pot. And she went back and got that thing. It was a prized possessions back in the day. Got another beautiful house right here. Got an old church. To its right, it says Stoltz House, 1880. Seems like it says something about milking, so I don't know if they milk cows back there, maybe? I don't know. You guys live here in Bethania, let me know, because I'm sure I'm messing up some of these things, just kind of flipping back and forth trying to look. Since I couldn't get a paper map from the visitor center, I hope they keep those things stocked up for people, because that would have been a lot easier. Alright, let's go down here. We're going to turn on Grabs Road. And there's a graveyard up there. I can't remember. It's called God's Acre or something like that. But we've got a good little walk to get up here. Let's turn this corner and I'll show you. Check that wall out. Grabs Drive, I believe that was a family that lived here. They had a house here somewhere. Close by, I'm sure. Yeah, there's that graveyard. Let me walk up that hill for you and we'll check that out. And there's the first person that was buried there was a little girl. Let's see if I can find that grave. While I was walking up through these cedar trees here at this pathway going up to the gate, I looked. It's called God's Acre. That's the name of the graveyard. Yeah, you can see it right there. God's Acre, 1760. Got a beautiful gate. Go through. Let's see. Heavy gate too. Ain't no ghost getting out of there. I just love these old beautiful graveyards. This one says Mary right here. I ain't sure. Let me readjust my white balance here just a minute. See if we can get this thing lighten up a bit. There we go. Yeah, you can see it says Mary right there. I'm gonna stop real quick and see if that's the girl that was buried here first. No, that one's a little later on. So I'm gonna have to walk around. Just take my time. I don't even know if I'll be able to find it. Just give you guys a look at it real quick. Some old headstones here. 1840. I see these little ones sometimes. I don't know if that was children that got the little ones. 1854. I just love the way they got these cedar trails in here. Smell so good. I mean, they got a lot of writing on there, but it's hard to read it. All right, I'm gonna look around. If I find it, I'll get back up with you. Yeah, I was just looking around. I found this grave, 1836. And I don't know, it just caught me because it said Happy Soul right there. I'm trying to read it. It says Happy Soul, die by R. Can't quite read it. Die by R something. All thy morning, I want to say lays below. Thou by angel guardians, something. This to Jesus' presence we go. I don't know if I got it quite right, but I think I got the idea of it. Thought that was pretty awesome. Check this one out. George, I think it might be spelled Hooser, but I'm Hauser or Hooser the second. Native of Bethania, lieutenant of militia in the American Revolution, active in subduing Tories, fought at the Battle of Kings Mountain and held prisoner while Cornwallis occupied Bethania. Distinguished for his patriotism, activity, and courage. That's awesome. Yeah, we did a thing on the Kings Mountain, and he was there. Ain't that something? Brave men back in the day, that's for sure. Respects to him. I'm glad he's getting to lay here. This beautiful graveyard here in Bethania. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find Mary's grave. So I can't find anything to show me where it's at. But I'm gonna continue walking around reading some of these. If I find some more interesting, we'll stop and look at them. Here's one kind of sad. Yeah. Robert Rowan Rothrock, son of D.S. and V.E. Rothrock, July 30th, 1885 to August 8th, 1885. Yeah. Little born infant, didn't make it too long. Very sad. There's another one. 1778 to 1878 to 1879. Yeah, about a year. Been looking at these. Most of them the same size, and then every once in a while you get a real small one like that. It had some writing on it, but it's gone now. Just wanted to look at that one. So here's a newer grave. So they're still using this graveyard today. This was Peggy Hollyfield, 11/3/2021. Yeah, a lot of people mourned right there. A lot of people mourned at each and every one of these graves, as with all graveyards. So I'm gonna walk on back out now. Never could find Mary, the young girl that was buried here first. Just one last look back. Awesome job here at God's Acre. Hope you enjoyed this tour of this little graveyard. Let's go on back down to town and we'll finish up our tour back at the visitor center. Yeah, I can just imagine Moravian people walking up and down this road and talking with each other, horses coming back and forth. Little log cabin here, and they've added to it. Looks good. I like it. There's that skeleton up there looking down. And then this other house down here. We looked at it as we were coming up. And there's the back of that mill. If you look through the trees, that's the roller mill where the general store is. We're back outside the visitor center now. Looking back into town. The old blacksmith shop would have been right over there. All them houses we just looked at. Yeah, them houses were grouped together back in the day to help protect themselves. You know, back across the Acre River, it was still Indian country, and they were having the Indian wars and all that. So that's another reason you saw those houses so close together like that, with all their land surrounding it. And I imagine that was a pretty good setup for that reason. But I love the way the town was self-sufficient, with all the shoemaker, the doctor, the blacksmith, and all the others. The way each person had their own fruit trees and their own land, their own strip of land that they worked for food. The town was completely self-sufficient. And I think all our hometowns need to go back to being self-sufficient, just in case one day the transportation might stop. And if you have a town where you can get the things you need to live and survive on a daily basis, you're gonna be all right. And they were all right here for sure. I'd like to see that old town and the people walking around in it back then. Old plank road coming up through here, and I think the Great Wagon Road came through here as well, made it a big bustling area at the time, bigger than Salem. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I appreciate it. If you like, subscribe, and share. Y'all take care.